Hi guys, so in today's video I want to show you what I do before and after riding. So beforehand I will groom him, I'll braid his mane because it's long, and I'll also do some stretches with him because a few days ago he did have therapy done and she gave me some stretch work to do with him. So I'll do stretches, I'll polo his legs, and I'll then tack him up and go for a ride. So once I'm done riding, I don't typically just untack, groom, give them grain and put them back in their field. I like to spend more time with them, and I do that through doing groundwork and trick training. So I thought it would be interesting to show you what I've been working with this guy, because he is very smart and he's a fast learner, so we can kind of see his progression over time in later videos and whatnot. So let's jump right into it. So I finished my ride. He had a nice long cool down, which was about 15 minutes. We do a loop on a trail. He's been groomed and given some treats because he was a really good boy today. So now I want to show you kind of the second half of what my training routine is with him. So I'm not claiming to be any sort of certified instructor. I'm not, I didn't go to school for any of this. I didn't take any sort of courses. So I'm not claiming to be any sort of expert in this field of like groundwork or trick training, but the method that I seem to be using with him has been working. So I'm going to show you what I've been working with him. The first trick that I taught him this summer is the Spanish walk. So how you get the horse to lift their leg is you tap on their lower leg until they lift it, and once they do, then you praise them. But a key point is that the horse must move forward and not backwards, because the Spanish walk is a forward motion. As you see here, I only give him a cookie once we're finished our line, which consists of 3 to 4 steps. I think it's important that they don't solely rely on cookies as a source of encouragement, but they're willing to do it on your praise alone. So in this clip here, I tap on his right leg, he gives me the correct one, and then I'm going to tap on his left, and as you'll notice, he doesn't give me the correct leg. I just keep tapping until he gives me the one I'm asking for, walk him forward and praise him and give him a cookie, just to reaffirm that whatever leg I tap is the one he should give. However, you do have to keep in mind that when you're asking, that you're asking for the correct leg, because it might not be his natural striding. Also finds the left side more challenging just because he's partially blind in this eye, but I just have to be more patient with him and to spend a little bit more time doing it on this side. Good boy. And here you can see him slowly grasping the concept of lifting his leg and walking forward. You just have to be a little bit patient with them because it is kind of awkward for them to find their balance, coordinating their front and hind legs. But with a little patience and practice over time, he'll get it. And here you can see him struggling a bit, but he's really trying. And this is only day 5 of us working on the Spanish walk. Good boy. So the next trick that I taught him was to back up without me touching him. I did this through tapping his chest gently with a whip and wiggling my hand back and forth and clucking at the same time, and eventually he connected the dots. This one I call the boomerang because the same thing, I make him back up, but then when I step forward, he follows. So it's almost like we're doing a little dance. I cluck, wiggle my hand, he backs up, and then whenever I stop and back up, he follows. Now moving on to groundwork, I think it's really important for horses to learn how to ground tie, especially for him. He's always concerned with what's going on around him. So I always make an effort to do this every day, put him wherever in the arena, and I just let him chill and relax. His head's low and he's calm, and he's not allowed to move until I decide. So I noticed when he was in the field and I would go to touch his face, he would always lift his head up. So whenever he's in a calm state like this, I always rub over his ears, over his eyes, and just massage him all over his face, just so he gets used to my hands being on him. And as you can see, he's not too concerned about anything, and he's actually quite relaxed and enjoying it. So what I've also taught him was that when the reins, these are hypothetical reins, go to over his neck, his head goes down. When they go over, his head stays down. Since it was already lowered, I usually just, and his head will lower. Good boy. I'd have to say my biggest pet peeve is rude horses when it comes to grain. So they have to do their stretches on either side, and they also do one in front typically and wait around 15 seconds. However, my battery was literally about to die, so in effort of saving time, I didn't make him do that. But his release is me patting him on the neck 3 times, and then he's allowed to eat his grain. So I hope you found that interesting. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section down below and I'll do my best to answer them. As well, leave me any recommendations of videos you want to see in the future. And please give me a like, subscribe, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.